now time for Big D Energy with four-time Stanley Cup champ Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neal Ruhl. Live on the Woodward Sports Network, 99.1 and 93.5 The Roar, the Woodward Sports app, and anywhere you listen to podcasts. Let's talk some sports. It's Big D Energy.
Hey, yo, everybody. Welcome back to Big D Energy right here on Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl. That guy over there is D-Mac. Darren McCarty back in effect. We got Sam Flannel. He's got the short sleeve flannel on today because you know it's back sweat season officially has kicked off. Speaking of back sweat, we got Spencer Raxter as well. And we all had some big-time weekend. What? What's so funny about that?
Speaking of back stuff.
Right?
Yeah.
It's back sweat. I mean,
you
everybody.
Tell me about back sweats.
Yeah, dude, nobody is immune.
Is that where you notice it on days like today, where as the humidity gets up and stuff like this? Is that where the first? Oh, it's getting hot because you hear that. You get that little
trickle, and it sneaks up on you,
and it does, and all of a sudden,
it's
bam,
back sweat season.
You're in.
You are
Welcome
in.
to back sweat.
we are here though. Happy to have you all with us as we ride on. Certainly had a great weekend. Everything was cool. Had a lot of fun. Got a little downtime. All that stuff. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, you can jump in on our YouTube chat thread. Detroit Dabber, what up, Doe? What up, Doe Dabber? Good to have you back with us. But we are getting it in here today. Got a big time show lined up for you as always. We are going to talk some basketball. And low key, you guys do this, right? With the Pistons. There's like an undercurrent of Pistons people out there. They're not in your face about it. You know what I'm saying? But low key, there's a good segment of Pistons people out there.
Low key, what it is you can see the tide rising, right? Because the expectations are coming in, and I think that what it tells me, Neal, a little bit more is we have polls all the time, and we're going to bring it up, is who's going to get to the promised land, or who's going to make it to the playoffs, or who's going to build the contender or the team moving forward first. You know, these little signs of coming out of the woodwork, so to speak, as a Pistons fans, tells me that there's expectations, but there's also still patience.
Right.
But everybody's excited. Maybe the word is there's that low-key excitement, right? That low-key excitement is, hey, we might have something here. You know, now we're going to be talking about what's coming up at the draft, maybe what's going on. Are there's some free agents? I know DeAndre Ayton's name's been brought up. Is there another fit out there for this team, right? And then we go to you and say, well, with the draft capital and with the salary cap and stuff like this. But what it tells me, Neal, is people are listening. And it's not that it's not about buying in and being sold and anything else. It's just going, okay, I see the pathway. And if we get the pathway from all of our teams, right, which we're going to talk about, all the rest of them in different ways, but this is a low key, like everybody's sort of like, hey, Pistons, tell your friends, hey, Pistons, we might want to tune in. It looks like, hey, Pistons doing so. Oh, get the Pistons, the wood for the Pistons fire. Yeah, okay. Oh, we haven't got it in a while. But it's just sort of rumblings like that. And there's that the hum, the buzz. And we're not going to be fooled because they're not in a position we thought the Tigers were in opening day. But I think we learned a lesson here in Detroit, right? We were so gung-ho about the Tigers and opening day and everything, we fell on our face. I don't even see us doing that with the excitement going to football and stuff like this, but it's leaked over into basketball because we see a way. That's what it is, Neal. That's the low-key buzz because it's like, okay, it's coming together slowly but surely, and that's all we want as a fan.
We're going to talk to our guy, speaking of the NBA, Bryce Simon of the Pistons Pulse podcast. We've had him on this show before, played Division I basketball, played in the NCAA tournament, as a matter of fact, against Villanova during his time at American University. High school coach. He's locked in, does film breakdowns on YouTube. I'll let him tell you all about it, where you can get to that content. But he has some thoughts on the NBA draft and which direction the Pistons should go, which way they're going to go, all that kind of stuff. Yes, we'll get into the NHL stuff. Second hour, we got a lot of Detroit Lions action for you. It might be time to pump the brakes a little bit. Like this, are these people? I know we're I know we're desperate for it. I know we are. But man, like Bro.
It's the thirst level. It's like
taking over.
We just need a winner in Detroit, and so before every season kicks off, this team's got it this year. And it's always like that with the Lions to a certain extent, but it's gotten even worse lately because we're so hungry for a good team. You know,
like I got direct messages from people on social media this weekend saying, hey, we should pursue this linebacker. I feel like we're a cover linebacker away. Like, away from what?
Yeah.
But look, I'm not hating. I appreciate you. You know, reach out. If I got time, I'll respond. Like, I'll chop it up with people if I got some time. I don't care. You know, and I appreciate the message, appreciate the follow and all that stuff for sure. But I just, easy, guys. We are not a, quote, cover linebacker away. Like, we're not. I feel very 100%. I'm not an executive. I'm not a coach. But I feel 100% confidence in the fact that we are not, quote, a cover linebacker away. And I don't even know away from what.
That would mean we're one player away.
Yeah.
We're far from that. But what I like to hear, and you see the rumblings, is how is the rest of the NFL viewing in Detroit. And all I know is that somebody's turned some car lights on towards Detroit nationally, right? And we're going to get the recognition. You're going to go through Hard Knocks. You're going to go through, you know, the OTAs and then get into training camp. We'll see what it is. I'm not worried about, I mean, I'm worried about it, but I'm not, that's not where my stock is. But it's something that what I like to see, and then we're going to talk about it, but is how the rest of the country views what we have as our asset, right? We feel that our offensive line is our best weapon. Well, the league feels that way also. And to me, that's okay. That's the one where we're not getting ahead of ourselves, because the sort of the stats are there. Now they got to go out and prove it, right? It brings up the question of that we know is that, okay, so last year Dan Holmes and training camp, Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell told me that they were going to build on the lines, right? Both sides and out.
And they're working that plan. Yeah.
Is that not, what else do you want? And not only working that plan, do you remember last year your all-pro center missed the season? Like, does that not any, so their plan that they told me that we're going to work the lines first, it looks like they're making moves on it, but it also looks like the rest of the league is taking notice also. Because we just didn't make moves, we made moves for players that play.
That actually play, that show up in the stat column. It's really wild.
Good.
It's really weird. Tammy Chin, I picked 3 out of the 4 teams in the NHL semifinals. Not too shabby. No, it's not too shabby, but that gets going tonight as well. Connor McJesus plays against the Colorado Avalanche.
Dog.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, Neal, which blows me away, right? This stat right here. Reigning MVP, Leon Draisaitl, right, who has been playing injured. He's got 27 points in 12 games, and you're not even hearing.
No. Why? I was going to get into this later, but you brought it up. Why?
No, but here's the thing. Why? Because I guess if you're in the know, then it's sort of laughable, right? You listen to what's coming out of Colorado, they're well aware. But again, like I said, in these series, remember the 3 keys: goaltending, staying healthy, and getting puck luck production from not just your big guys. Got to be your big guys.
Unless your big guys have 27 points in 12 games.
But your big guys have to be but still, that doesn't. So you say that, which helps them along. But without the Hymans and the Evander Kanes and the guys down the roster, which is going to be interesting because they match lines, because it seems both teams play 8-9 guys. Right, 3 lines and use it, but it's amazing. Like when you say 27 points in 12 games, and it's almost like people are like, he got hurt in the first round and they dismay him. But you know, I'm hoping that this leads. You know, we're gonna see everything. What'd you say? 7 is the total in the goals, and that's plus money. But how would you ever go under?
Like
right?
3 threes a non-loser.
But here's the thing. Here's the kicker. Goaltending, right? Pretty much, and I'm not going to say shooter tutors, right? But pretty much up and down. Mike Smith in 1 net for Edmonton could shut him out or let in 10. right? Same thing. Darcy Kemper let in a suspect goal in overtime the other night. Has played well, but these are Mike Smith and Darcy Kemper aren't conference final guys that you think are going to lead their team, right? It's the Vasilevskis and the Shesterkins on the other side. So you got two of the best young goalie in the Rangers, right? So going to win the Vezina this year, right, and finishing the Hart Trophy as best player in the league against Andre Vasilevsky, arguably the GOAT, one of the GOATs on the Mount Rushmore. And then the other side, you got the offense and all the firepower and stuff like this. It still comes down to the sporting staff, but it blows me away because Leon Draisaitl, who's won an MVP in this league, is not being talked about.
Even less than Connor McDavid.
The thing that gives me solace is I'm hearing Nathan McKinnon and coming out of the Colorado locker room that Draisaitl's on their tongue. They're like, what? They're even saying Colorado's going. It's not just this guy, and it's not just this guy, but they have a better team. So we'll see. But again, it comes down to defense.
Yeah, and it will for Edmonton. That's always been the story. So, it's entertaining. Like that tonight, Avs Oilers is entertaining.
If you want to watch something that is, so you can think of me every time. Yes, I'm right. I'm right. Every time you watch Nathan McKinnon when he picks up the puck, 29 on Colorado, and you watch 97, Connor McDavid, #McJesus.
Connor McJesus.
Who these guys, when they get the puck, they move faster than without the puck. That's an oxymoron. Hello. Right? Anybody wants to try this test, okay? If you're wherever you are right now, 10 yards, 20 yards, okay? Just take steps and run down there. Then pick something up and carry it and do the same thing. And I guarantee you'll be decimal seconds off, but you're going to be slower. Not these guys. And in a blink of an eye, what have they done in the first few rounds of the series? Highlight real goals. So don't expect, we could be coming in here going, oh my gosh, did you see that? Yeah, but what about him? So at the end of the day, stars got to be their stars. The guys got to step up. This sets up for what we've always been waiting for. And here's the best thing. I don't know if you heard this comment, right? Where Nathan McKinnon of the Avs was asked about this, and he said, well, I hope it brings better viewership so the league escrow goes down. Which means because the players pay and split up everything, and Neal could explain this, is that the more eyes on the NHL because now, and it should be because you got we've been waiting for this. We've been waiting.
3 stars.
We've been waiting for this matchup, right? We've been waiting for this matchup, McKinnon and McDavid, forever. So what it means is the more eyes on it, the more money goes back into the players' pockets.
Right.
And it was cool how one of the stars who realizes that, hey, I know what this is all about, but it's also like this is the only thing. This is all that matters.
And watch it for this too. And I pointed this out on Twitter a couple of nights ago, and D-Mac was hype about this one. When he talked about Nathan McKinnon for the Avalanche, because he very well could be the second best player on the ice in this series. Very well. Obviously top 3. We'll see how it all shakes out. No one's ever going to take Connor McDavid away from me. That's just not going to happen. He's number 1 forever. Now, that being said, here's the deal. Nathan McKinnon, when you guys watch this and he shows out, keep in mind that after next season, he's a free agent, and the Red Wings have $65-ish million in cap space.
Just saying.
It doesn't mean anything. I'm not calling for anything. I'm not saying anything is imminent. I'm saying the following statement is based on math. The Red Wings have a huge amount of cap space, and Nathan McKinnon is an unrestricted free agent.
And let me just tell you before you take us to break, Neal, is that what you're going to watch is what makes Connor McDavid so special. Is that if you have any action figures, like a wrestling action figure, and I'm going to try to do it in my chair, you know how the top of the body and the bottom, it sort of swivels? You can move the top without the legs. Maybe the old He-Man, right? The legs stay the same, but the body moves. Well, he can do that full speed. His feet can go one way where he controls the puck the other way. It's the most unbelievable thing. if you're not a hockey fan, if you're a light hockey fan, if you have not turned on hockey, this is the series that I would say I would throw somebody in who's never seen hockey before if you're trying to get them to get caught up to this new NHL game, because this is going to be unbelievable series.
Absolutely. It is going to be absolute fire, the skill level that's going to be out there, and this will be entertaining hockey. It will be. For me, that's it, man. And I watch Edmonton a lot, obviously. As you know, they're kind of like my
Mountain West.
Yeah, they're my mountain. They're my NHL Mountain West.
Somebody in the mountain, right? Yeah. And like, I know we got to go to break, but like, how many games would you say, and not watch the whole games, but how many Edmonton games
have I tapped in?
Did you tap into throughout the year?
I'd say about 30.
So, like, seriously,
I probably watched 12. Yeah, I watched 12.
But you tapped into 30. That's committed, man.
Like, and I was when they got Evander Kane, I was fired up. I was like, this is going to help.
And look at this guy. He's on pace to set the NHL goals. I think he's got 12 through 2 rounds. I mean, what an acquisition by Uncle Kenny.
Yeah, and that is true. Got to give him his flowers for that. I got to give a sports marketing agency their flowers too. They help spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse disorder. Their new podcast is called This is the F Word. It's a series on fentanyl, as they help spread awareness of fentanyl and other addictions that are, quite honestly, plaguing our communities right now. Go to thesportsma.com. Again, that's thesportsma.com. If you're struggling or if you know someone who is, it's a sports marketing agency. They're here to help.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Diamonds, it's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
Neal Ruhl here for oddstrader.com, the #1 site for all of your game day bets. You can begin your handicapping journey at oddstrader.com for play-by-play updates, live scores, bet tracking. All you got to do is download the OddsTrader app from the App Store. Get you the best price on every game. That's probably the most important angle, at least in my opinion. Gives you all the sign-up offers from multiple sports books. At oddstrader.com, player stats, key game stats are all available so you can be well researched. At oddstrader.com. Download it today. Off and running here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, D-Mac, Darren McCarty. We got Sam Flannel. We got Spencer Raxter as well. Fired up for, as much as I guess you can be, and I know that a lot of time you're either hockey elite or you don't care. Like, there is no in-between, I've noticed here.
As a hockey fan,
if you're casual, tonight's the night.
But if you're casual, tonight's the night. But if you're a hockey fan at all,
you got no excuse.
Tampa Rangers Conference Finals, Edmonton, Colorado. There's no, somebody other than obviously Tampa Bay, but there's new players to the dance and stuff like this. And I just looked it up, right? Which is amazing. Yari Curry in 6 games against Chicago back in 87, 88 had 12 goals in the series. But in that series, 69 goals were scored, right?
That was a nice series.
69 goals were scored in 60. But what I'm saying is that, and you would never think in today's day and age that could ever be attested, but we'll see after the first few games, but I would not be surprised you're seeing like 5-5 going into overtime, 6-6 going into overtime, depending on this.
And you were giving it to the people, and I'm fighting it right now because I want to take it to the streets. I want to get people right, but the over 7 plus 110 just doesn't smell right. It seems too easy.
Well, it has to be because 80% of the games go over. They're setting you up for that. Both teams are supposed to come out and be high firing, which means they probably come out and be a little bit more tentative, and so the line's probably like, if you're gonna get the more of a low scoring game in the series, it might be tonight. It can go either way. I mean, it's up and down. The benefit is what's plus money, and if it's plus,
I know that's the thing that's hooked me.
And it could be the setup.
And 3-3 is not a loser. Like, if it gets to 3-3, you can't lose.
Right. So that's that, and that's what I'm saying. So my advice would be, don't put the record on it. But I mean, like that's sort of like a DMAC going like, hey, you know what? I'd be putting if I was going to go one way or the other, like, it seems the precedence for the series because of the plus money at 7. I mean, it's tough for me to see one of these goalies hold the other team to 3 goals, right? So, I mean, it comes out. I've been wrong. Mike Smith's proved me wrong. What have I said? I've stood up here the whole time, and he's sitting in the conference finals. I said he's not good enough to get Edmonton there. Well, he's good enough to get Edmonton there.
You know how I know? They're there.
They're there.
Yeah, and somebody said that, or I meant to read that one in the chat thread earlier. Connor McDavid is showing us.
They all are. They all are. And we haven't even brought up like two of the top young D-man. We talk about most cited rookie here, but Darnell Nurse, who's Edmonton's guy, and Cale Makar and Taves. So here's another thing to watch. Caveat. Watch the back end of Cale Makar and Taves for Colorado. Why? Because what Colorado's done is these two kids are such good, and they're responsible defensively, but they're both high offensive guys, but they play well together. This could be what you're going to see in some sort of not identical, but what we're looking for in Arvidsson and Seider, whether they play together or they don't, but two guys that can, young guys like this. That's how you know with the comparables. Look at this Colorado team. This is where we should be, hopefully in 2 years, but maybe 3 or whatever, by looking at their roster and looking what they have. And shout out to my boy D. Helm. Won a couple of them in 08. How about that? Cup clincher in 08, and then he does it again for them the other day. So I said this all along, and I'm glad Peter Baugh reports for all the Colorado media, and you see it all over, is that I called it when he interviewed me earlier about Avs picking up Darren Helm. I said he's the perfect player for that team with that lineup, and he's going to come through in the clutch, and couldn't happen to a nicer kid who spells his name the right way.
That's what it all comes down to.
That's what it all came down to back in the day.
NFL Draft Junkie hit us with this one, Spencer. I'm going to count on you for this one. He had a great topic. I think we were doing the show at Big Boy about, is Detroit a Tier 2 sports city?
Yeah.
We got to do that one tomorrow at some point. I'll leave that one on your plate.
I'll pencil her in.
There you go. I like it. We'll get to that tomorrow, NFL Draft. We appreciate you. Hey, I said I'll let you guys program the show. I know Spencer will. Spencer will let you program the whole show if you want to.
No sweat off my back. Sweat off my back.
Well, except now, except for days like today and yesterday.
Yeah, there's plenty of sweat on my back on 90-degree days in this 4x4 booth I'm in.
Yeah. Speaking of sweat off the back, what day are we on for consecutive flannel streaks, Sam Flannel?
We're at 66.
Do they have mesh flannels?
I don't see how that would be possible.
Okay, just wondering. I mean,
it would cease to be a flannel at that point, wouldn't it, D-Mac?
I don't know. I'm just looking out for my boy. I mean, he's committed, but it's got to be hot in that booth right there.
I'm doing all right right now. It's short sleeve,
Here's how
I think
know,
I'll survive.
Right? Because I'm starting to percolate a little bit.
Oh, 100%.
And I don't sweat. So, I mean, it's like, okay, I can see it. And I look over at you. You look like me chopping wood on Christmas Eve. Just out for your best interest, bud.
Doughboy Steve's coming with a lot of Nathan McKinnon hits, saying he hasn't done much, scored a couple of pretty goals, that was it. Saying he's going to be old when he's a free agent. Doughboy, don't do this to me right now, bro. All right? This is reinforcing what I've talked about with the Red Wings for a very long time. Again, I'm not calling for it. I'm not saying it's a done deal. But the option, and here's the power, too. Let's get into it for a couple. We got a couple seconds before Bryce Simon comes on.
We got to get those.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Here's the power of it. This is why I love what Steve Yzerman has done, low key. With that cap space that's coming up, the 60+ million-ish in 2 years, that's with Verana, that's with Seider, that's with Raymond on the books for $7 million. That's all there. With $60 million in cap space, if you decide Nathan McKinnon's your guy, you can eliminate the Avalanche from that equation. You know what I'm saying? You have the arsenal to say we dictate that. If we want Nathan McKinnon or anybody else, if you're not a McKinnon guy, if we want somebody, we go get them. It's not up
biscuit.
to.
I'm gonna bury that biscuit.
Yeah,
Give me that
It's not
biscuit.
up to you, Colorado Avalanche. It's not up to you, Tampa Bay Light. It's not up to you. It's up to us because Steve Yzerman has the big stack at the table.
Right.
That's it.
And here's the one.
And that's it.
And here's the one thing too. If you're more into this, is because you can offer that max contract that other teams can't match. Because why? Because they got to pay their other guys. Right, you look at what we're talking about, and all the others. Usually about 4 guys, right? And if your goalie's one of those 4 guys, you're usually locked in. Hence Tampa Bay. You got the other one. You look at like what you're going to do in Toronto, right? Because you got Tavares, you got Marner, you got Matthews on the books, and then you also have Nylander. Those guys are all making 10, 11 near the max, right? What you've just said, Neal, is that everything's open at the top, right? You slotted guys in. You're willing to pay some of your guys the more money, but you're going to go out and make a splash. That's why, to your conversation, right, do I think, what would I put, pipe dream, and I would put it on because looking at the whatever else, it may be 15, 20% right now. Colorado goes on and finishes this out and wins it. That's a different conversation.
Yeah, they can't keep everybody.
Coming down the line, but you've also accomplished task at hand, right, in McKinnon's mind. So, I mean, but these, and it's not just the McKinnons. If you go through the league,
Yeah,
to
that's
the top
everyone.
guys, you got a guy in Calgary this year. Is Johnny Hockey the guy, right? I don't think so. But for example, you have the ability to go, here you go. Oh, you want one? Oh, you want one? Oh, you want one? And the biggest thing you said, Neal, is after you've got the guys that you want already under contract, which is a lot of your young guys. The only guy you didn't list there was Zadina. But, again, you can't have everything.
Yeah, and let me see here. Klompsaw says, McKinnon's an example, a number 1 center. He's the piece. Larkin would be the number 2 center. Now, Klompsaw's that cap number I'm talking about, and somebody else asked, CJ Schneider, when does that cap space come? That's going into the 23-24 season. Now, here's the rub to that. Your $63 million in cap space doesn't have Larkin on the books. So, make a choice. You know,
Well, but here's the thing, right? You don't have to make a choice. Because I think you nailed it right there. Is we all can agree, just like Steve Yzerman, the greatness what he was, but when he's your number 2 centerman, and he can concentrate on being the leader, the two-way guy, doing all those little things, try to be a point of game guy, whatever has to be done. But there's money to be made there, right? And that's where the deal cut with everything else. So, yes, questions to be had. The one thing that I do know, Steve Yzerman ain't giving it away. He ain't giving it away.
It doesn't matter who you
if
are.
you've been here, no matter if you're coming here, no matter what. It's got to be within his plan. Just like, as you know, the plan here every day, back sweat or not, when we get done, we broadcast, if you know or you don't know, from Lady Jane's global headquarters, head of 168 across this great country. So we're lucky we can walk in, sign, and sit down and get the King's treatment, bing, bang, boom, before you know it. Looking spiffy and clean. You also can do that anytime today. They're open 12 to 8, Monday to Friday, or Monday to Sunday. Let's go every day of the week. So get in there, get it looking good. You can get it taken off like D-Mac or do whatever. You know why. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome. Big D Energy, Neal Ruhl, D-Mac back on a Tuesday, last day of May. Here we go. Woodward Sports.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brandon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Glad that we can finally start trying to get the stigma off of mental health that's been there for all these years.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Back at it here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, D-Mac, Darren McCarty. We got Spencer, we got Sam Flannel. Real quickly before we get to our guy, Bryce Simon. AC says, I want Connor McDavid. McDavid signed through age 29 the next 3 seasons. His cap number goes down. In the last year of his deal, he will count $12.5 million on the cap. Like, he is a mega value. So, you know, he's through 25, 26. So can't see it happening, my friend, at any price, especially after he shows out here. Let's talk to a guy that's always cap friendly. He is our guy, Bryce Simon of the Motor City Hoops podcast and the Pistons Pulse podcast as well. And as always, he taps in for us here, and he does that Pistons Pulse podcast with Omar Sankofa. How about that? Let's do it the right way. Shall we do it the right way? No, but Bryce, appreciate your time. As always, my friend, it's NBA draft time. You know that we were going to jump in with you here. How's it going, my friend? How you doing?
I'm good. I just have one question, Neal and Darren. Who picked the sponsor to go in that last break with the haircut place, and then I come in with my bald head, and I feel like someone strategically put that one in there with me coming up next.
I can't lie to you, bro. It was Spencer. Oh, Spencer, and his back sweating. He said, watch out.
So, because he's high on Shaden Sharp, and I'm not super high on Shaden Sharp, so he had that coming to me.
Well, Bryce, why don't you start there? You know, and listen, to be fair, Spencer hadn't gotten over Carmelo Anthony, so he doesn't really count. But let's start right there. We're talking about prospects and guys who go number 5. In this draft, we've had numerous discussions on what piece will be made. You tell us, what does the Motor City Hoops and Bryce Simon think?
Yeah, I mean, I have Jaden Ivey, number 1. The 4 guys that are continue to be talked about, I have Jaden Ivey, number 1 on my Pistons big board. I don't know if he'll actually be there. It sounds like more and more he's not going to last to number 5, whether someone takes him, if somebody trades up with the Kings, because he doesn't. I don't know if he's going to go to Sacramento. Who knows what Sacramento will do? You never know with them. But Jaden Ivey would be the number 1 guy, and then right behind him is a guy I love in Benedict Mathurin out of Arizona.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking to Bryce Simon here, does the Pistons Pulse podcast with Omar Sankofa from the Detroit Free Press. I was listening to it this morning, as a matter of fact, live from the Planet Fitness studios when I was on the treadmill at Planet Fitness, so I got caught up with that. So the Jaden Ivey thing, Bryce, is pretty polarizing around these parts. I've noticed you're either an apologist or you're labeled a hater. There is no in-between with Jaden Ivey. For me, I've been labeled as a Jaden Ivey hater. It's just, when you're talking number 5, Bryce, to me, I want somebody that does something elite that includes the ball going through the net. Be it an elite shooter, be it an elite distributor, be it an elite finisher. I want you to be elite at something that's end result is the ball going into the net. I don't want to hear about athleticism and a slasher and things like that. Am I crazy? Am I on the right track? You tell me.
It's fair, and that's where I don't know if people are going to love this about me, but I can see both sides of it. I got on with Easy, who does the podcast with Spencer.
We don't mention that name around here. No, we don't mention that name. No, Mr. Mike, Mr. I got the greatest takes of all.
Yeah.
Are you on the same? Wait. Don't tell me you're on the same page as Easy.
No, Easy brought me on because I disagreed with Easy.
Thank goodness. Bryce, you got credibility.
Jaden Ivey is not the perfect fit next to Cade Cunningham. No, I will agree to that. I think Benedict Mathurin is the perfect fit if you want to just go based on fit. But I do think Jaden Ivey can play next to Cade Cunningham. I think he's going to be a good NBA player. There's a high ceiling. Now, to your point, Neal, I do have questions. What is the in-between game? He didn't show a floater game, a mid-range pull-up. The three-point shot looks a little wonky, and there's some questions. What I love about Jaden Ivey is that kid puts pressure on the rim. He puts pressure on the paint. He's going to get in there. He can score it a little bit, and then he's going to be able to kick to other guys. So he does do some stuff really well.
No, and I understand that, but again, not an elite fit. That's what I'm talking about. Like with number 5, I need an elite quality. Am I like out of bounds with Bryce? Help me. I defer to you. You played Division I. You played the NCAA tournament. You did all these things, so you know more than most because you've been on the ground and faced Villanova in the NCAA tournament and all that kind of stuff. You tell me, are my expectations unrealistic? Am I a clown? What's the deal?
No, I don't think you're being unfair. What I've kind of struggled with is, yes, you want value at number 5, right? You have this certain expectation. But this draft only has so many players, right? So what do you do then? Do you trade it out of it? You have to select somebody, and I could argue with you, or not argue, but debate what guy does do that. Is it Keegan Murray? He does it at the college level, but I have questions if all of his offensive game translates to the NBA. Even my guy Benedict Mathurin may not do it at the level you want, and Shaedon Sharpe he's not a complete unknown, but he never even played in college. We don't know exactly how he gets his buckets. We saw him playing against high school kids.
Here's my question with my answer. Who's the best fit for Cade Cunningham out of all these?
Benedict Mathurin.
Benedict Cumberbatch Mathurin. That's it. I love it.
Hey, D-Mac, I've been telling you, like Bryce got me going on him. And look, I go back and forth, right? I know Spencer's team Shaedon Sharpe. And me, personally, Bryce, my thing, I'm about ceilings. I'm always going to go with the ceiling guy because I can't hit a home run if I don't swing for the fence. So, I mean, as far as that goes, and that kind of dovetails into my next question to you, Bryce, is, okay, say Ivy's off the board. I know you're a Benedict Mathurin guy. Spencer's a big Shaedon Sharpe guy. You're sitting there at 5. They're both on the board. You're going to lean Mathurin. If so, why?
Yeah, 100%. Because I think Mathurin gives you a little bit of everything. There's a little bit of a safe pick with Benedict Mathurin. At the very least, he's a 3-and-D guy. He's going to knock down threes, and I think he's a really high-level defender. He's the perfect fit next to Cade Cunningham, in my opinion. Now, Cade's very malleable, so you could argue a lot of guys are good fits, but I think he's the absolute perfect fit. And then there's also a ceiling with Benedict Mathurin that I don't think people give him enough credit for. This guy could become a 20, 22-point-a-game scorer if everything clicks. I'm not saying it's a guarantee. I'm just saying it's there.
What about free agency, Bryce? Because obviously you hear something about DeAndre Ayton. And my question, being the non-basketball guy and hearing all these different names and you guys going in, is what I noticed last year with the Marvin Bagley Jr. trade was the positional player that Cade with the big man. You mentioned malleable. Great freaking word. Means he can work with everybody. Makes everybody better. And like that. I didn't even have to look it up.
Yeah.
But the fact is there maybe a combination, or I guess the first question, it's two-parter. The seriousness of maybe signing a big guy like an Ayton, or are we going to focus on getting Cade that big guy? And if say so that they did something like this and went out and made that splash, does it make your guy Benedict Mathurin, or does it make Jaden Ivey at 5, or whoever there, a different player selected because maybe the format of the front 5 will have changed? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't think that's going to change a lot there. I think what could have changed that is if the Pistons landed in the top 3, maybe that would have changed some things. If you draft Chet Holmgren, maybe then that changes what you want to do. I will just say I'm not super high on DeAndre Ayton. I'm about to dive into my film breakdown on him. I'm going to go back, watch a bunch of games, do a whole breakdown, put it on the YouTube channel, and all of that stuff. right? I just don't know that I would give him the max. And it's not about not spending money. I just don't know what's the value of that based on what he can do. Now, if there's another level to his game, and Ayton is a young kid still, so maybe there is another level to his game. But right now, I'm not one of those that's like they pound the table, they have to go sign DeAndre Ayton. I will say this. You brought up a great point. Can I call you D-Mac? I want to...
Oh, please. Okay? You better call me D-Mac.
You've done way more in sports than anybody I've ever met, so I want to make sure I show my proper respect. But Marvin Bagley brought something to this team didn't have, and this team needs a lob threat. And here's the other thing people have to realize. Marvin Bagley's contract situation is very weird. He has a $28 million cap hold, a $7 million qualifying offer. Does he get an extension? Like, that's a weird situation with him as well.
Talking with Bryce Simon here on Big D Energy Woodward Sports Network. Make sure you check out if you're basketball elite. And they talk salsa recipes from time to time. I heard that this morning.
You did listen.
Yeah, I did. I did.
Pineapple salsa.
Yeah, we got to get Omari on one day too to rap about salsa. Be our salsa insider possibly. But Pistons Pulse podcast, wherever you can get your podcast, they go deep. And if you're if you lean geeky, which I kind of do about basketball, it is. It's the hookup. There is no doubt about that.
We got it all here. We got the BTE, the bad take easy, and we got the no BS, Bryce Simon. I agree with you on Ayton. I liked Benedict Cumberbatch Mathurin. You sell us on that. And my last question, I guess, Bryce, or just a little bit, because you played the game, right? And I don't care if somebody who's played the game has been on there. What is this one thing, in your opinion, right, that in order for it's intangible or something that this Piston team needs to add, right, to their core? What is that, and can you get that in this draft?
They need a shot maker, right, Bryce? I mean, somebody make a shot.
This isn't going to have anything to do with playing the game at a high level that I was fortunate enough to do. They need talent, D-Mac, Neal. They need talent. They just absolutely do. And they got to have somebody that can get buckets, Neal. So I've said that Benedict Mathurin is the best fit next to Cade. If I had a second best fit, it's a guy that just goes and gets buckets, can score 20, 25 points a game. But they got to get more talented. And there are guys. Here's what Troy Weaver has done, guys. He's opened up opportunities and options for that to happen with cap space, with a draft pick. You have an asset in Jeremy Grant. Who knows what happens with that? And that's why I'm excited as a Detroit Piston fan for this offseason.
Finally, Bryce, before we let you go here, and appreciate your time as always, my friend. And we're going to get you on again, like as the draft gets closer, and some of the free agency gets ready to get going and all that kind of stuff. Here from the YouTube chat thread right now, our guy Chuck Brewer says, "I normally agree with Bryce all the time, but I'm swinging for the fences, and sharp is the way that I swing for the fence." So your response, Bryce.
Yeah, and I know Chuck from Twitter. He interacts. Great guy. I appreciate all of his support and interaction. I'm okay with it. It's just not me. He's number 4 out of 4 on my list. My list is Ivy, Mathurin, Murray, Sharp. And I just have too many questions about Sharp. Like, I'm just not sure I can do that. There's even questions now. Like, there's reports that he didn't even practice when he was at Kentucky.
Practice?
Hey.
Oh, okay. I just wondered. That was a basketball thing. I just wanted to fit in with you guys. We felt the same way about hockey. Practice 7:30. Put it down. Sorry.
I have a hard time diving into that stuff too much because I'm not there. I don't have all the intel. I haven't met the young man. I don't know what people are telling him in his ear. But there are some questions just about the way he competes and how he's gone about all this stuff. And so I would just pick, he would be 4th out of 4 on my list. But anybody who wants to swing for the fences, I get it. Some people want to swing for the fences so the team can tank again and then go into what is supposed to be a strong draft class next season.
All right, well, Bryce, real quick, man, before you go, give everybody the YouTube channel, man, because I think the podcast is great, don't get me wrong. But if you're really a geek, the film sessions are incredible. Where can they find those?
Yeah, absolutely. So Twitter at Motor City Hoops, and then YouTube is just Motor City Hoops / Bryce Simon, and then the podcast, The Pistons Pulse, with my guy Omari Sankofa II, Detroit Free Press beat writer.
All right, Bryce, appreciate your time again, my friend. We'll run it back. Don't get that twisted. We'll be hitting you back up.
Sounds good. Appreciate you guys all the time. D-Mac.
Exactly. You betcha, bro.
Good talking.
Yep.
Neal, we'll talk soon.
100%. That is Bryce Simon of the Pistons Pulse podcast, among other things that he does. Does that with Omari Sankofa of the Detroit Free Press also. So, he laid it down. It's, you stood your ground too.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, we had him on heavyweights last week, and I'm good. I want Shaden Sharp for the reason that you guys said, for the ceiling reason, but I'm good with any of those guys. Other than Keegan Murray would probably be my fourth of four, because I want a guy to stand next to Cade, and he was selling me on Benedict Mathurin big time.
He was me too.
In the Pistons,
real talk.
In the heavyweight session we had with him, so I'm good with any of them, honestly.
I just need somebody to get buckets, bro.
Yes.
Somebody go get buckets. That's what I'm asking for. And while you're at it, go get some wings, and then while you're at that, wash it down with some Cintron, because the summer of Cintron is here. And now Cintron is available at your local Kroger store. You can pick some up the next time you grocery shop. Give it a spin, right? We're about the hydration and the energy drinks and all that stuff. Just give it a spin. 2 for $4. What do you have to lose? And then you'll find out that Cintron's the new energy drink for the active lifestyle. Official partners with the Detroit Pistons, the Detroit Red Wings, Detroit City FC as well. Drink it. Live it with Cintron.
We all know Cade should have been Rookie of the Year. But you know the saying, Detroit versus everybody.
Uh-oh. Cunningham all by himself.
Woodward Sports.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device. So I said before we went to the break, somebody get some wings. Oh, look, Neal Ruhl here for Wing Snob, because it takes a snob to know a snob. You have to be a snob. But you don't have to be a snob if you want to eat some Wing Snob, because the bottom line is they're just better wings. Why, you ask? Fresh, juicy, hormone-free chicken. They have the best traditional wings. Why? They're Wing Snob. If you're a snob, you have better wings. Do the math. Try the signature sauces, the Jamaican jerk, the lemon pepper. When the wings are this good, you are allowed to be a snob. Order now at wingsnob.com. People, why would you not just get the better wings? Why? Why would you not? For real, why would you not? It's Wing Snob. They just have better wings. Jesus, man.
Jesus.
Why would you not get the best wings?
How many of those you smear on your face on Saturday night?
Let's not talk about Saturday night.
Can I talk about? Well, I mean, just so everybody knows, if you go on follow Darren McCarty or go see whatever like that, and I got this fixation with wrestling, and we all know all this stuff, and we saw me get skewered and bleed and choke slam the other day. I took a super kick Saturday night from that dastardly Jake Christ, but great stuff.
I took a super kick too.
Yeah, I know you did. I'm just telling you this because I posted it to Neal, and I did this on purpose because I figured it was about 10:30, and I said, hey, Neal, this is probably how you're going to feel tomorrow, but can I get an update on how your evening's going? And what did you respond with?
I just said the horses are out of the barn.
Horses out of the barn. See you Tuesday. So I hope you had a great weekend like my boy Neal Ruhl did.
Yeah, no, it was. It was great. And it was much needed, and it was a lot of fun. The weather was great. Everything lived up to the hype. I hope everybody else had a great weekend, too. And also, as well, wanted to let everybody know that I hope you did take a couple of minutes and remember the reason for the season, I guess you could say. Like, it was cool knocking back gypsies and grilling food and all that kind of, playing golf and all that stuff. It was a lot of fun doing that. Watching the kids run through the sprinklers and swimming and all that kind of stuff. It was a lot of fun, but remember what it took to get there, everybody. So that was it. I hope everybody, in their own way, remembered the people that it took to get here. So appreciate Bryce Simon tapping in. Who was it on the YouTube chat thread? Somebody asked about, AC said, ask him about Max Christie. When you guys had him on the Woodward Heavyweights podcast, you did ask about Max Christie.
Yeah, we when we had him on, we talked about second-round picks as well, because I saw like my perfect scenario draft, and it had us taking Shaden Sharp in the first round and then Caleb Houston in the second round. I think those are two good guys to pick. And he said he would like for us to grab Max Christie in the second round because that's, a wing guy. He's a longer guy. He can be a scorer. He showed at Michigan State. They kind of rushed him in at MSU to make him try to be that guy as a freshman. But he showed that shot making. He showed NBA shot making where he can hit those shots from deep. He can hit them from mid range. He has a good finishing ability around the basket. So I mean, give me a Spartan dog on the Pistons any day of the week. You're not going to get any slack from me, but. Yeah, he said he likes Max Christie in the second round for sure.
Jack Harrington, our YouTube chat thread. So my weekend was okay. The Yankees split with the Rays. You got to take that. Split with the Rays. You're in contention. You're the Yankees.
What
you got the
happens
lead.
when you're good teams and stuff and you split? Nobody moves up or down.
Right. Yeah. Especially the team chasing you.
Yeah.
All you did was punch days off the calendar.
Earlier in the season, that's sort of what you're looking for. Worst case scenario, right?
Yeah. I know it's been a long time.
You just don't want to get swept. What happens here? You get swept, you get behind the 8 ball, then next thing you know, you're sitting like the Tigers. So it'll be interesting. And again, Neal, do we think it might come down to those two teams down the water?
Yeah, I mean, it's shaping up that way. Johnny says grilled shish kebabs on the water yesterday with the flags out.
Nice.
I got to be real. I got to add grilling shish kebabs to the repertoire. I don't do it, and I don't know why. It's easy. Like, it is. It's easy.
Shout out to Mama Jan, who's watching right now, who I was out on the water with. She did chicken shish kebabs, and the way she put the pineapple in there and it oozed into the chicken, it was just so wonderful. Thanks, Mom.
Look at you see the look on his face right there?
Yeah. The bite with the mushrooms and everything like that, and you do it right. Yeah, it was old school charcoal grill. She did it right. And the banana cream pie. Oh my gosh. I only ate 3 slices. Just kidding.
Yeah.
It was good, Neal. I had one for you, so it was good.
Thank you.
Just
I
like you had a
appreciate
few gypsies for me.
That's
how we do it around
we take
here.
care of each other. That's why you and I work well together,
right.
my friend.
That's right.
Rack says, let's talk about the big signing for Oakland University. I work for the university. It hasn't cleared compliance yet, so I'm not at liberty to speak about it.
I don't work for the university, but just to know this is that we are so compliant for everything around here, and especially Oakland, who does it the right way. We want to get through the logistics, and then we will dive into this probably with somebody. Oh, Neal, you cover Oakland, so when it's all good, we can probably get to the gist of what.
Yeah,
what it means.
we'll do some
Can
things.
I mention Rocket Watts' name?
You can do whatever you want.
Oh, okay, yeah, because it'll be exciting when everything, all the bows are tied and everything's done when it comes compliant.
I think Spencer was more hype about it than anybody.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm happy to have the guy back in the state. We talked about, I think he was used wrong at MSU when they were trying to force him to be a point guard, and he's not a point guard.
Okay, so here, let's just real brief, right? Because you're the diehard Sparty guy, and this is a Sparty guy coming back into the state and stuff like this. So how is he viewed? Was he viewed by you and your brethren as far as misused?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we knew that, he wasn't. Because the quintessential Michigan State point guard is a position that Izzo tries to always build around, and that's not what Rocket's game is. So he's a 2.
So you think do you think going to Oakland, in your opinion, is a good move for him personally?
Oh, yeah. He's going to get buckets at OU.
Well, I mean, Oakland's point guard. This is not related to this conversation. I just want it on the record. I'm excluding myself from that part of the conversation. Just going with the mathematical fact that Oakland's point guard is among the nation's leaders, did lead the nation in assist a couple of years ago. So
for sure.
That's just a statement of fact that in no way reflects any views of any hearsay or anything that may or may not happen.
Yes.
Buckets, Watts. I like it. And even from my experience going, and they used to have a guy named Kay Felder.
Right.
He was real good.
He certainly was. People, a lot of talk about shish kebabs too. FJ 1967, Lake Life here. That's always a classic. That's always a strong play. Yep. D-Mac did it all. Lake Life, golf course. Checked all the
golf
boxes.
course, AEW pay-per-view, Double or Nothing. You couldn't make it through that. You couldn't
Circumstances didn't allow that to happen.
You were doing sponsorship obligations.
Yeah, I certainly was.
You're obligated to the sponsors, but yeah. So I got the full Monty in. I can't complain. I never do.
Mr. Privy says shish kebabs are slept on. Johnny says with onions, mushrooms, peppers, and tomatoes.
Shish kebabs the grilling taco?
That's a fair comp. It's
or
easy. I'm mad at myself.
Right, because as you break it down, right, you know how Taco Tuesday and the boys all love it because Maddie here always brings the heavyweights and all the rest of Taco Tuesday and
always
stuff like
love
that.
Free food.
But
especially strawberry waffles.
Listen, you're in media, bro. You have to get used to this saying: if it's free, it's for me.
Yeah.
But the thing is, how easy it is, Neal. I think I know you well enough, and I think that the shish kebab has just re-entered in that we could be hearing about maybe going to that.
I will be doing that this week.
I think it's the ease to it, especially nowadays. If you like to cut up, like I'm a person. If I'm gonna grill, I like the whole experience, like cutting the stuff up and and putting it in. So now the question is, metal or wood?
What, sticks?
Skewers.
Oh, it's got to be wood, right?
Okay, and you just got to soak it enough, right?
Yeah.
I agree. A lot of people like metal, though. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, they've got to be wood skewers, yeah. Johnny said the girlfriend made a tortilla with leftover bobs with sour cream this morning. That is a straw. You can reintroduce the taco element to the shish kebab leftovers if you so choose.
Absolutely. It's just
what is wrong with me?
Leftovers of shish kebab, leftovers don't really go to waste either, right?
How?
Because you just, and then you got it already cooked, and you're really disappointed in yourself.
I am. I'm not mad.
You know what? Maybe have a conversation between your stomach and your liver.
Yeah.
Okay? Because your liver took over this weekend. and it didn't really allow your stomach and your brain to interact. The liver we mentioned this
liver
2
had
weeks
priority.
ago. Listen, but you know the why. What do I say? Not the right or wrong, the why. We talked about this. You've been going.
It was a build-up. Yeah.
How long have you been looking for that blowout for the weekend, right?
All May.
So give yourself a break. You had no chance even to the stomach and the brain talking because the liver got in the way. Now, for the next, because you're taking care of that guy, right? Now, your shish kebab season. We might find the next latest and greatest thing is shish kebab.
Especially everybody here is breaking it down. Elijah Rushing, Kay Felder, Sharon Dorsey Walker, Martez Walker, all Pershing Doughboys. Yeah, we have a pretty good pipeline there to Pershing. Rack wants to know real quick before you tell us about Guardian D-Mac. He wants to know skewers to the head, metal or wood?
Oh, well, you got to take the wood. I mean, the metal you take, that'd be harder too, but the ones that I took were wood. And you know what? You're right, Neal. Because no matter what, if I got shish kebabs or, if I'm going around this wrestling stuff and there's skewers around and stuff, I would love to have Guardian Alarm because they keep me safe and give me peace of mind no matter where I am. So if I'm eating shish kebabs, getting skewered by shish kebabs, I got Guardian Alarm. I feel safe. All with 24-hour, 7 monitoring rate from your phone. If you want to be like the Woodward Sports Big D Energy family, yes, you can too, because we are all about this together. But you need you to call the number 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
Stay out. I give it to everybody on this humid, hot, and healthy Tuesday. 1-800.
Stay out. Get out of my house.
Get out of my house. Back sweat. Can't really help you on that, but we will get you a doily. Guardian Alarm, your local security experts. Tell them Big D Energy sent you. Neal Ruhl, D-Mac. Be right back.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Got to double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you want to know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Neal Ruhl here for Chili Peppers Tanning. Join the Pepper Club today. Get the best deals on all your unlimited tanning needs. There'll be competitor prices by at least $5. They got the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, and the darkest tans. 26 Chili Peppers locations and more on the way. Go to chilipepperstanning.com. Find out which one works for you. Chili Peppers Tanning. Back out of here, pulling up on the second hour of the show. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. On a warm Tuesday around the D, there is no doubt about that. It's warmer today than it was yesterday.
Yeah.
I know the high might not get to the high, but you had that breeze working yesterday.
And, you know, I was sitting inside in the air conditioning yesterday, so that was pretty cool. But no air conditioning in this glass box. It's got me feeling
Well, it's a covert workout, bro. It's a covert sweat box. I mean, it's a combination of Chili Peppers, Planet Fitness. We like to get it all in here. We're here for a couple hours, bro. We might as well, shed a few pounds.
I just feel bad for Fletch. He's going to have to wear these headphones after me, and these boys are going to be dripping.
Note to self.
Yeah.
Or note to Fletch. Might want to get your own headphones.
That might be a good investment. I'm just saying.
What's in the catalog?
Mr. Privy on our YouTube chat thread. This is scholarly, folks. Listen to this.
This is awesome.
DMAC, shish kebabs will have a taco-type resurgence when the people realize the prep work is rewarded by the convenience on the back end.
Bam. But so well articulated. I mean, I just read that over three times.
I think the valedictorian of Harvard's class of 2022 wrote that somewhere. And he just lifted it.
Slap meat. Yeah, you got to let the meat slap meat, and if it comes onto your skewers and it's your shish kebabs and bing, bang, boom, the convenience at the end is a taco the next day, boom, there you go. Well put, Privy. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't... What's wrong with me that I'm not on the Kebab Express here?
Tell people exactly, they're not... Your disappointment in self right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not,
because you just totally missed the exit. You didn't even know what was going on.
No.
You know what I mean?
100%.
It's like fireworks and there's a fire over here and you're looking out 75 going here, going, where is it at? And you missed it, right? The whole weekend. I told you why, bro.
Neal, you can just go.
Your liver's very powerful.
I don't want to give free promos or anything, but Cattleman's, they have pre-prepped shish kebabs ready to go.
I'm not that sad.
They're good, though. They're good.
Sure. No, I'm just saying.
Meat.
I will get the kebab into the rotation this week.
Yes, you will.
I had a monster porterhouse yesterday.
Can we get?
I'm talking. It was like 2.5
Can we
inches
have?
thick.
Yeah.
Can you take, what do they call it? Can we get footage? Maybe
100%.
When you do it, we need to do it. It's like the cream of wheat. Oh, man, imagine having... Oh, I got to bring in the cocoa cream of wheats. We got to have a bowl of that.
Cocoa wheats? Dude, I'm telling you, I love cocoa wheats. I used to eat them all the time.
Mama Jan gave me some cocoa wheats, so we got to try them. Never had them.
So good.
We got to go to check out to see if that cereal's out yet.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. I did, honestly, I did make a pass last week through the Kroger cereal aisle and did not see
Because you're never going to see that stuff.
I'm not.
You're never going to see it.
Listen. You worry about your kebabs. I'll worry about our breakfast palate. And
you're never going
milk.
to see that.
Listen, strawberry milkshake, Frosted Flakes are a thing.
It's like a competitive contract offer from the Detroit Tigers. You'll hear about it, but you'll never see it.
Is that what it is? Well,
Ask Max Scherzer.
You mean the winning Detroit Tigers, the
4 of 5.
The 4 of 5. We're hot. Is that 66%? No, that's 80%. Yeah. But along with the rest of it, it's probably still only 40%. But hey, winning's winning. You can't. For everybody who went down to the ballpark, must have been a great experience.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I tapped out over the weekend.
Did you any innings, any flip on highlights? I did watch Jesus Sanchez hit a 500-foot bomb in Miami.
Oh yeah, I saw all that stuff that was going on.
No, we tapped into that.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you? And did I hear something that Torque had a 3-hit game or stuff like that?
And I did hear about that. And
That gets the radar. That gets a, okay.
The reaction to that, though, troubles me even more. They're like, Torque had a 3-hit game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? They played, 50 games?
Yeah.
No, but it doesn't that, Neal, to you, like, to me, it just goes, oh, okay. Maybe he's starting to set, not that he's going to do anything, but what I've seen is haven't abandoned him, right? They're going to let him go through his rookie lulls and whatever like this, and if this means that he starts hitting more. What I've seen from him is obviously just made a great defensive play the other day. I tapped in and watched the highlight of him stretching out and making a great out at first on a Baez play. But yeah, that's I'm trying to make the point is that's how checked out we are on the Tigers at this point in the season and whatever else going on. So,
but you know what? Last night I was sitting out on the deck. And I did actually watch Cubs-Brewers, and I watched a little bit of the Dodgers-Pirates game before I went to bed.
You're getting into Sunday Night Baseball. Like, you're getting into the DMAC. No, there's baseball out there. There's a few teams that are worth watching.
Now the Cubs-Brewers.
Keep them in the back of your mind for when they come to town.
Cubs-Brewers I watched because Mike Brasso was playing for the Brewers, Oakland baseball product.
Nice.
So he was playing for the Brewers. And I watched a little bit of Mets Nationals because of fantasy implications. I have multiple Mets on my fantasy team, so I watched because of that. Because my son asked me, why are you watching? Because it was like 8
still the best
to
team
2.
in baseball?
Who, the Mets?
Yeah.
I think when Scherzer comes back, they're certainly in the discussion.
Okay, but they're playing well. Aren't the New York teams leading? Yeah.
They are. They're doing well. And then Scherzer will come back, and then as the playoffs come, everything shrinks, like rotations shrink and all that. So, I mean, we'll see. On the YouTube chat thread, Chuck Brewer says, Neal, you're just too high and mighty elite with a question mark. I don't know what's that in reference to. About how I won't buy prepackaged. Well, it goes back to DMAC though, like the grilling experience.
The prep is part of
it.
The
prep is part of the grilling experience. Plus, and here, look, as a married guy, it looks like you're doing more than you actually are when you chop everything up and you start it from beginning to end.
That's a good point.
Just remember,
listen,
I've been in the game 10 years making rap tunes.
Hack that you might not need. Get yourself one of those chef aprons, because once that goes on,
it's all business.
It's business, right? So then it's sort of like there's that routine. Then you're on the chef mode. So now the responsibility. So the focus is and then you can move it at your own pace.
Absolutely.
Set your own mill spec.
And then I can say, hey,
but the apron.
How long is this going to take, Dad? How much longer till dinner's ready? Oh, about 2 gypsies. When I get 2 gypsies down, I'll be pulling the stuff off the grill. That's how you
drink. Dad, you gonna shotgun that or what? We doing shots now? Yeah, the kids
I'm hungry,
older.
Dad. Can you speed that along?
Yeah, exactly.
NFL Draft Junkie says, bring back Waffle Crisp. Waffle Crisp was a good cereal. That was back in my cereal days.
Fire. Waffle Crisp and French Toast Crunch.
French Toast Crunch.
Insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were pretty good. AC said, Tigers on their way to 66% now.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, I mean, they're creeping there. Somebody said that Torque's batting average raised 18 points yesterday. So
yeah, from 160 to 170.
Yeah. Is he above 200?
No, you malt beat it.
He malt beat it.
Malt beat it.
I like that one. No, but I do want to get into the E60 thing. Well, we will certainly do that on the other side of the break. But yeah, the Tigers have a doubleheader today. They'll be taking on the Twins. Could be a lot of runs in those games. The weather parlayed with the pitchers that are pitching, and you know how it works when you got these doubleheaders. You got to bring up pitchers, and
is it full game?
So are you saying
or are they the 7-inning ones?
So are you saying the over?
They're full games,
they're back
right?
to full games.
Yeah, they're back to full games.
Yeah,
and they're back to the split doubleheader too, where if you do want to go, first one's at 110, then the second one's at 7. You do have to buy
2 tickets.
2 tickets. Yeah,
that's whack.
Man, bang the gong on parking.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, but that's what you can do, right? I mean,
you can just pop in for the first game and keep your car parked, go hang out at Brass Rail or Tin Roof for a little while and go back for the second game.
Hey, that's a true pro though. Back in the day though, like the Tuesday double header after the long weekend, if you're still ripping it up through that, that's
a good point.
That's old school DMAC. 2009 to 2015. Today's right in the repertoire. It would have
Yeah.
been on the calendar too.
NFL draft. Neal, the wives will never get us full credit for our grilling skills as husbands. So, among other things, we won't get credit for. But
it's not about the credit. It's about dictating the experience and the time. You don't need the credit as long as you don't get pushed on your time frame. Is that not true? Like, I don't need the credit as long as, like, the two Gypsy Vodkas, if those are respected. If you respect the two Gypsy Vodka, then we'll eat. You expect the process, then I don't need no credit and no nothing.
Let me tell you about Big Boy, as Spencer Raxter is intimately familiar with. It is Strawberry Fest out there, and it is back. At Big Boy, they brought back some of the classic breakfast items, the strawberry French toast, the strawberry pancakes, and the strawberry waffles, Spencer.
Oh, yeah.
Two in two segments. It might be a record, Spencer said it. Not a breakfast guy, or if you're more of a bobblehead guy, there's D-Mac there.
D-Mac
taking in the classic.
He likes the classic.
The classic Big Boy hamburger. They have the strawberry bacon chicken wrap, which I had, the crispy chicken wrap, the nacho wrap, or the strawberry salad. The perfect recipe for springtime. Don't forget to grab dessert. The delicious strawberry pie is just $1.99 a slice when you spend $7.99 or more at participating Big Boy locations. Guys, don't make me break out the economic flow chart on this one. If you do not get a slice of strawberry pie for $1.99, congratulations, you lost money.
Played yourself.
You played yourself. And you lost money. Not a smart move, everybody. Strawberry Fest, available at participating Big Boy locations.
At Wing Snob, staying humble's not our forte. We just have better wings. We're back at it again with our crispy golden brown fries and our famous boneless wings. Juicy, tender, hormone-free chicken. Your favorite signature sauces with no bone. Just when you thought Wing Snob couldn't get any better. Order online at wingsnob.com today. Wing Snob. We just have better wings.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome. Back out of here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, D-Mac, Darren McCarty. We got Sam Flannel, 66 consecutive days of flannel. We got Spencer Raxter, 2 strawberry waffles in consecutive segments for him. That was another feat of strength. Also, speaking of that, Jose De La O says, can Spencer do a calendar shoot as the big boy?
Hey, you pay me enough.
Yeah.
That's show me the money.
Show us. You crypto dudes,
all the crypto
big boys.
dudes, man. If I get that money,
yeah,
I'll do the big boy shoot for sure.
You know where to find them.
Yeah. 5 days a week. I'm right here. Come
Holler
on
at
down.
me. Show us those money. Did want to talk about this too because it dropped over the weekend and people were hyped. The E60 special on the Wings Avalanche series is coming out, D-Mac. I don't know if you're aware. They were actually here taking footage before. So
yeah, no, and people ask me, I shot my scene when Claude Lemieux was here. We did the March 26th, 25-year anniversary, all that weekend, and
they came in here.
People were in throughout that, but I was the same way. And I think it's dropped between games 2 and 3 of the finals. Don't quote me on that or whatever, but to see that preview and the way they always shot it, and I was trying to think, and I know that I haven't been in since then, but is this has always been the 30 for 30 that I've wanted to see, and not just I know my part in it and I know my perspective, but it's so awesome. Not only to hear everybody, and you look at the end, if you saw the preview to the clip and then it went through everything, but at the end, Neal, and it's the Godfather music and it's just the ambiance, but when they flash all the names
sitting down
and the faces sitting down, because it's 25 years later. So the thing is that you're not seeing it like when you're seeing some of the past interviews with us, like with Chris Draper and Claude Lemieux or me or Joe Sakic or Stevie or whatever. We're younger. But now you see us now, and you see the Claude Lemieux, and you see the Patrick Waugh, and the Mike Ricci's, and the guys that where we've had time to reflect. I'm always interested to hear what other guys say. I say it all
Which
along.
that's the most interesting thing to me, and I'm compromised, obviously, because I talk to you about it regularly. We talk on a daily basis.
Anybody who knows me that's seen the D-Max show, the Slaps of Comedy or whatever, anytime I get to talk about it, I love to talk about it, and I'm always looking for different things, perspectives, and when guys that were there involved, and when we haven't talked about it or conglomerated about it, gives you different perspective, even seeing it back. I got goosebumps, chilled. And how great, and because these 30 for 30s are epic. We know that here because of what they did with the Bad Boys, their Fab Five, or stuff like this. And at the end, when you see Vladdy there, and they asked him the question, what was the best part, and he says beating them. I mean, like that, just because it's 25 years later, and there's something to tying a bow or something to what. I personally got out of sitting down with Claude after 25 years and with the interview and the night, and wanted to express like you still have those feelings. It's okay to forgive, but you don't have to forget. And this just ties it into a bow. It just I don't know. I was as excited as anybody else.
Here's what was interesting to me to see. Because you can't fake emotion, right? When the emotion on some of the faces, and the emotion was hate. Let's not get it twisted. There was still hate. I think that's what got everybody hype. It's not something that 25 years go by, and because I had a lot of people ask me. Went to a couple barbecues. They asked me. They're like, what did you think about it? You talked to D-Mac about it. Those kinds of things. So they asked me. And I said, the thing that got me, and I'm going to ask D-Mac about this on Tuesday, so here we are. Were you surprised? Because it is interesting that you and Claude have gotten past that moment on the ice in terms of a hate perspective. You guys have gotten past that. Well, some dudes on the teams have not gotten past that hate. Is that fair?
But is this fair that over the past, we've done therapy? We've done events.
Right, out in the community, right.
No, but we've done, whether the autograph shows or whatever, but when I say I've done therapy or whatever, I've crossed paths with Claude. I've crossed paths with the most out of those guys, right? I spent a weekend with Adam Foote a year and a half ago with a bunch of the other, collared, like Scott Parker, the sheriff, who wasn't part of this Colorado, is one of my great buddies and stuff like this. So I have it. It's weird because with that old code or whatever like that, but the respect that I carry because of honoring the code, and it's all about that code. But there is hate, but guys haven't been able to talk about it. Guys have only had to bury it with their feelings and stuff like this. I've gone through a lot of, being able to get to the point with Claude personally off the ice as the person has had to do with a lot of me growing up as a man and being able to show the example. So to me, this is just capsulate with all the video and the footage from back in the day. But Neal, it's said in the preview, what makes a rivalry? Well, there has to be legitimate.
There's got to be hate. There's got to be hate.
There's got to be, I want you dead, hate. And there was no pulling punches to either side. Now, there was certain respect because there had to be, because you had two of the best teams. That's what also made it too, right? But there was a respect. You look at other sports, there hadn't been this hatred, and the hatred fed down to the fan base.
Absolutely.
But
the coaches, everybody. It was everybody. And I'd forgotten about that clip when Crawford and Scotty are barking at each other.
The best part about that is Scotty going, "Mark, I know your dad wouldn't be happy with you right now."
So on brand.
So on brand with Scotty. But just to throw, that's Scotty throwing a jab just to throw it. What my dad, wait. Like the old school mentality. So the stuff that'll come out, the stories that'll come out, because it's always good at asking questions. So hopefully it's just another piece of history that happened that is not just a part of me. It's part of everybody that's involved, or the younger kids too. Why, when they growing up, it was always like we didn't get to see Gordie Howe and Ted Lindsay and whatever, but we learned and got to meet the men and learn about everything else. Well, this is for all you younger kids to understand, well, the why. And Neal, to the whole thing is because as much hatred and stuff going on in the world today, like this was as real as it gets in the sports avenue. I mean, like if Hatfields and McCoys or whatever like this, I mean, it's a good thing that they only had sticks on the ice, because if you would have put deadly weapons, some of us would not have made it through.
Right. And that's what it was. Harley Fife wants to know, have you ever sat down and talked with Adam Deadmarsh since it all went down?
To Adam Deadmarsh?
Yeah.
I've run into Deadmarsh a few times, and that's a sad, because he was such the warrior competitor for them and stuff like that, and then he ran into some concussion problems and stuff like this, but not really talked about the rivalry and stuff like this, but just to talk hockey and understand, like he was, for lack of a better term, I was the poor man's Adam Deadmarsh. He was way better, but he played that sort of role.
Yeah. It's just, for me, the reason, and seeing that commercial, that preview for it, kind of all brought this back center circle, because I think it does get lost sometimes. The reason that rivalry was special, and I doubt you'll see in hockey again, for real. Like I don't think we'll see another rivalry like that, and here's why. Because you had elite teams that both won cups, that were great teams, that hated each other, that played each other for the ultimate stakes. Every single time you guys played, everything was on the line. Everything. It was, for lack of a better term, the closest thing you could come to as war. 100%. Because the stakes were the ultimate. Every single time. You'll go on. You'll see rivalries, you'll see brawls, and you'll see teams, but not at the level. Count the Hall of Famers. What did I play with? 10, 12? How many are on their side? Right. At least 8, and that's it. Like the quality of play, the hatred of everybody involved, the stakes that were involved, what the winner got, you'll never see that again. No. You won't. No. We won't in our lifetime. And here's the thing, too, in sports, because everything's got to be so tight, and, Gary Bettman hockey, it's all about coming down to the last week of the season, 5 teams. There's no rivalries, because you have to move on to the next team, the next team, the next team. Closest thing you can find to sort of, let's say, rivalry is having great, the Edmonton Oilers with Connor McDavid and Nathan McKinnon in Colorado. Can they get back there every year? It's not, sports ain't set up with the salary caps and stuff like this to have dynasties. Right. And dynasties at the top. So let alone 2 of them playing each other, where they took turns winning. And let alone the way that the rules were. Right. And I mean, what blows me away to watch March 26th and you realize 97 or whatever, Vernon and Waugh get out there and slug it out, and then Waugh's got stitches and he's bleeding. Back in net. Next play, face off. You guys are back in. That's it. No box. Like, goalies are the only ones that could get in a fight and then go back in the net. Somebody else served the penalty. It's crazy. And this is interesting. This is a great point by Mike G. How can you hate this current Avs team? They're so skilled, so deep, and so fun to watch. A model of what the Red Wings should follow. And Mike, I'll agree with you, man. I like, they're an entertaining team to watch. We're talking about this. That's what D-Mac said before the show. Yeah. This is who you are. You want to be these guys in 2 or 3 years. No, that's, I have no problem. Adam said to me before the show that if I ever wanted to, I don't know why he said that, to hit somebody, I should hit the wonderful Maddie Marin. And I was like, well, what are you talking about? And he said, well, she likes Colorado. And I said, I'm the guy that took them at 9-1 before the season. Because I believe in them, and that's the whole respect. Like, Steve Eisman and Joe Sakic are the left-handed and right-handed version of each other, okay? So
Colorado's a few years ahead of what Stevie's trying to put together and put it better. And then he's looking and seeing how Sakic did, and he's got Ronta, and he's got Landeskog, and he's got McCarr, and he's got McKinnon, and he did. And then Stevie goes, "Oh, I like how he did that," and he's got his D-man. "Oh, but I'm gonna shape it this way. No, I'm not gonna spend the money here. I'm gonna make him earn it, and he's got to get." This is what you want to watch, and because you know what, when I say that, this is where you want to, because this is where you should be. High end 2 years, low end 3 or 4, but it's coming, and this is the team you got to build. And they look at each other, they see how they do it, and then at the end of the day, we're hoping it's Detroit, Colorado, battling for a 4 or 5 year plan.
Can we ask this on the YouTube poll before we go to the break?
No.
Can we?
Yes.
Do fans like the salary cap setup in sports now? Because the salary cap, and people are talking about it right now, about how you'll never get that as far as just that collection of talent. Do fans like the salary cap setup? Because what do they always say? What do fans always say? I hate dynasties.
Yeah.
I hate that it's LeBron all the time. I hate that it's Jordan all the time. Fans outside of here, I hate that it's the Red Wings all the time.
Yep.
Right? Isn't that what they say? I hate that
Used to.
Yeah, right? But isn't that what fans say? And we say we hate that and we want new teams. But do we, though?
They watch.
Do we? And I'm one, I always like the dynasties.
Yeah.
Because I like the greatness.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm built a little different. Like I watch more for entertainment. Like sports for entertainment. I want to see Connor McDavid. I want to see greatness. I want to see elite level players.
Yeah.
Do fans like the salary cap? So that's it. We'll keep an eye on that as it goes through. But hey, if you hate the Colorado Avalanche still and you want to bet against them, guess where you should go? MyBookie.com. The NHL playoffs, the NBA finals are here. Baseball's here. It's all going on. Golf, NASCAR, UFC. We think there's not a lot going on in the summer, but look at us now. And MyBookie.com is right in the heart of it. When you sign up for a new account, use a promo code Woodward. They'll match part of your first deposit up to 50% in free bet. So get it in. You think the Tigers will win at a 66% clip the rest of the year? I know some of you do. You said it here on this show. Take that plus money on MyBookie.com. Conversely, if you do think the Tigers are going to win games at a 66% clip the rest of the way, I have a phone number for you. The Michigan Gambling Helpline. Call 1-800-270-7117.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
Coming down the stretch, just like that. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network on a Tuesday. Neal Ruhl, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter as well.
Slurpee season.
It is
officially Slurpee season.
Official. It is officially Slurpee season. Somebody asked, you only got a 5-minute.
No.
You only got a 5-minute penalty.
I got 4 minutes for roughing and a 10-minute misconduct for what I did to Claude Lemieux, which Brendan Shanahan told me in 2013 when he was the disciplinarian. I would have had a minimum of 7 to 10 games because he couldn't have overlooked the knee. And he was involved. Nice teammate.
Man, he went full corporate on everybody,
I got 5
didn't
for fighting Deadmarsh in the second period, but I got 4 minutes for that. It's the greatest
for fighting Deadmarsh
I got
in the second period.
misconduct, too, so, I mean, it was cool.
I forgot about that, too, the second fight.
You want to know what, I ended my career with 129 regular season fights. That one would have got me to 130.
Should hop
but
on
then
the
I
ice
would have been
one more
out of the
time.
game and wouldn't have scored the overtime winner. So
What was that, Spence?
They can't give you an honorary game. You pop in, fight somebody, hop off to
Let's
make it
just
130.
say if I played in a non-honorary game, that would absolutely happen. I'd hate to see who I was mad at or whose number I was going to get.
There you go.
What was your record in said 129 fights?
I
In your
survived
mind.
all of them.
So undefeated.
I survived all of them. I came back, and the one thing is that I don't look at it like, I got the best of Matthew Barnaby real good. I got the best of a few guys. I made it out. The thing is, in fighting, it's not if you win or lose, it's if you show up. That was always sort of the mantra. And for me, man, when they put in the rule that you had to put the tie down on and couldn't get out of the jersey and stuff, like I always said, then it took me being a smaller guy fighting all the bigger guys, it took the fun out of it. I mean, it's, how much fun is it to have a big guy come up and, like, grab you by your shirt and then, like you can't get out of it. At least when you can weasel out of it, it was some sort of excitement to it. So, hey, Neal, at the end of the day, you knew you were in one with me. I wasn't gonna go away. So,
did you ever beat anybody that you were stunned that you beat in a fight? Like after it was over and the adrenaline calms down and you're like, oh my God, I don't believe I beat that guy.
got, you know what, and God, I love him to death and he taught me a lot, but Stu Grimson in LA, and he was just acting like an idiot late in the game, and I think he like hit Ozzy or whatever like that. So I was mad too, and I tied him up and I knew how to fight him, and that's the whole thing, and I got him pretty. There's a couple of guys like, but when I was younger, it was like a lot of it was like survival too, right? But it wasn't the fear of like here's the number one adage: you learn if you like. I'm a bleeder, but I got a thick head. So I learned when I was 11 years old. I took a baseball bat between the eyes, and I didn't go out and whatever. It split me in half, took stitches, touched my bone, but it was like realize okay. You might have something here. I grew up in that where I wasn't afraid. So I tell everybody the key to fighting is you got and MMA whatever, you got to see it coming, right? You got to have your head up and on a swivel. So if you see it coming, and I'm not saying it's not going to hurt, it's not going to cut you, it's not going to do anything, but if you're like me, you're not going to get knocked out.
Because you're mentally prepared to deal with it.
It's and there's a certain thing when you do it over and over, whatever like that. There's a part of you that sort of enjoy it. You tag me, and it's sort of like hits this beast. It's like what I was telling you, getting skewered or kicked or whatever. It's like this sort of like, yeah, you'd sort of like it. And people out there who are in combat or understand what I'm talking about, it's sort of like oh, okay. Like it's a different gear. So it's not, and now you don't want to do it. You don't have to do it. But to all the younger kids, it's telling you, is like keep that head up if you can see where it's coming from and stuff like this. So that's and then the old adage, it doesn't matter if you win or lose, it's if you show up. And I learned that early.
It's kind of like life.
Well, it is, Neal. When I'm 16 years old, I'm fighting a 21-year-old with a beard and 2 kids in the stands, and he literally breaks my wrist because I'm not strong enough, and I didn't turtle. I didn't go down. I stood right in there, and I had him tied up enough that he was so mad that he couldn't beat me up. But it was like, oh, okay, you broke your, like, how bad can it be? How bad? And it goes to show how bad do you want it?
I certainly understand.
How bad do you want it?
Do you guys like the salary cap setup in sports? It's pretty much split down the middle. 51% say yes, 49% say no. So I guess that means it was a good question. Scott Klingler says it depends on the sport. Jake Wegener says people hate dynasties when it's not their team. Chuck says there is no answer to what I want. I want you to be able to spend whatever you want to keep your own players, though. Robert Colosia says liking dynasties.
That's a great point.
That's the NBA. That's kind of the NBA. That's the heart of the NBA thing.
Because like, wouldn't you like to see that if the Red Wings, say for example, you look at any of these teams, even the Edmontons or whatever, if they're willing to pay the money to have something in place to keep these guys around. Guys only play 10 years now. Like to me, just hearing that there's something to it that maybe down the line that there's a caveat to that.
Right. And that, again, that's the heart of like the bird rights and everything like that. with the NBA. And, like there is something to that. Nick Hedigan says, I love good competition, but I also have huge respect for utter dominance. And again, we're just going back to, we were talking about the E60 thing, and I am of the opinion that there are a lot of factors as to why that is one of the best rivalries in the history of sports, because it had everything. High level players playing for the ultimate stakes. Both teams won at a regular rate. Both teams won the Stanley Cup at a good rate. You know what I'm saying? Like, it had everything. And pure hatred.
You know what's interesting, Neal? And I don't need to or whatever, but you hear about numbers all the time, right? And the biggest thing where I get into numbers is because in wrestling, the AEW and the WWE are always talking about it, stuff like this. But if you look back when ESPN had, and this is the reason I was so excited about ESPN picking hockey back up, because I knew this day would come. I knew they could not do this, and the way that they did it and do it right. But the whole that's
part of the frustration you have with it. Is also part of the reason that you love it, because they are capable of this. Right.
Which gets to my point is that it'll
the
be
games,
interesting. It'll be interesting. Right. Why do you not commit, and why do you mail it in? And then when I'm trying to build a fan base, and then it's like, hey, I finally get somebody to turn on a game, and then you're going to give me that, right? Like, not the game. You're going to give me that. You don't care about the production and promotion of the game by how you do it, because when they do it right, they do it right. What I'm interested in is what were the numbers back then when ESPN had it, when the biggest rivalry on. It'll be a great, it got 500,000 views in one day, right? Like the trailer.
Right.
That means, because people don't understand, it's not just for the people that were there or remember it. It's for the ones that have been hearing it. Somebody said it in the chat thread. I remember I was 5 months old when that happened. I've been hearing about it all my life.
My son Cristiano, he's like well versed in it now.
Right.
Same deal.
And that's the pass down. So like, it's just, to me, it just will tie this will tie I call it the infinity circle. The bow sort of on the 25 years as we get into, because it's 25 years we're going to talk about our first cup. Right? Until the Avalanche and the Wings meet in the Stanley Cup Finals, which, we might as well say it right now, 2027 final. Boom.
Boom. There it is.
There's the biggest DMAC is right ever.
The away fan, DMAC, you look great in the trailer for E60. When does that come out? You said,
I think between games
tentatively
2 and 3.
Between game 2 and 3. Of the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yes.
So there is that. Mike G says, I don't like the cap because we are a small market sports town. When we want to be, Mike G, we are. Depending on who wants to be.
But we have 4 teams here. We should be a major sports market, but it's the trash we put out there, or we have put out there, which brings us backwards. When we want to, yes. That's the statement right there.
When you're a baseball owner, you can wake up one day and say, we're going to win. For real.
And in football, if you do it right, your turnover can be very short. In hockey, if you do it right by getting the foundation down and draft right and get your salary cap and get your draft capital right, then over a few years,
in NBA, you got to catch
in.
2 breaks.
And so you look at it, right? Thank goodness we caught. So in saying that, we caught the one with Cade, right? First overall. Now we're looking to see how everything else plays it together. But there's a process, and we should be. Shouldn't we be a top 5 in like 2 or 3 years when all these teams are supposed to be where they're supposed to be?
Yeah. Scott Klingler, Neal, what's your thoughts on the top 10 quarterback list? I don't know. I haven't seen it. We'll get to all that stuff. Don't worry. We certainly will as things rolls on. Yeah, I mean, what are you going to say? Right now, just $0 down, $10 a month will get you a Planet Fitness membership. We're live at the Planet Fitness studios here. I was at Planet Fitness, about 3 hours ago. Ran into Corey Woods, our own Lions beat reporter. He was there as well at Planet Fitness. Getting it in, no matter where you are. There's a Planet Fitness close by. Join in club. You're going to pass 2 on the way home. Just pull on in there and join there, or join online at planetfitness.com. It's Planet Fitness, DMAC.
where your fitness is essential.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
OddsTrader.com is the #1 site for all of your game day bets. Tonight, the Stanley Cup Western Conference Finals kickoff. It's fucking face-off. God damn it, Adam. Fucking idiot over here. Yeah. 3, 2, 1. OddsTrader.com is the #1 site for all of your game day bets. Tonight, the Stanley Cup playoffs, Western Conference Finals, Avalanche, Edmonton. We got Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon. It's going to be a great matchup. I've already been to OddsTrader.com. I already got the line I wanted. Make sure you get to OddsTrader.com to get the best line possible for tonight's game. Whether you're taking the Avs or Edmonton, totally up to you. I got Edmonton on this one.
What's up, our friends at Alta Equipment know that when it comes to getting your job completed and on budget, on schedule, uptime matters. That's why Alta Equipment is partnered with the biggest names in construction. With the most diverse rental fleet in Michigan, there is nothing your project can throw at you that Alta can't handle. So please give them a call today at 844. Go to Alta today. 844. Go to Alta. Alta Equipment, where uptime matters.
Coming on the stretch here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, D-Max, and Flannel, Spencer. You know we're squad deep up in here as we come down the stretch. YouTube chat poll. Do you guys like the salary cap set up in sports? 50-50. That's interesting. We never get 50-50 polls, but here we are today. That is interesting. Nick Hedigan, Neal, you're correct. Detroit is not a small market, medium market at worst. It's just... Again, it goes back to kind of how we just broke it all down. I think hockey and football are similar because you have to lay a foundation and value certain things. Then you slide into basketball where you need a couple lucky breaks, and then you can get good there. And then a baseball owner, you can just wake up and say, we're going to be good today. And that's it. And that's the way you want to go if you want. Now, there are exceptions to that. The Tampa Bay Rays. I don't know how they sold their soul to the devil or the witchcraft that they use or anything like that.
The weather, bro.
Even though they play in a dome.
They use the weather to their advantage. No, and their sell.
Yeah.
And their sell is like, hey, you can come down here and hang out in Tampa Bay with us.
But it's all like league minimum guys and Nelson Cruz. Like, it's wild. It's wild how they do it. I was just
saying, what did they sell? Who did they sell their soul to? They sold the weather to their soul. That's all I was saying.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy
Everybody
to me.
wants to be down there.
Scott Klingler says, do you ever see any big-time free agents come here? Well, we did in baseball. Like, they snapped their fingers, and next thing you know, they were handing out $200 million contracts like nothing. Now they don't do that anymore. So Nick says we just act small. And that is true. I believe there certainly is something to that.
There, you know what? And that's how it's worked in the past, or we've tried to act big, but we're just posing. Right, we can go through the hockey contracts or whatever like this. That's why the confidence too, Neal. When you look down at it, are these guys giving away contracts that are undeserved or undeserved? Right. The biggest thing with the Tigers is there's nothing in the farm system.
Right.
The Mother Hubbard cupboard is bare, so you're going to need to pay for it. But everything else seems to be.
And the Yankees have had a 10-year run of giving out crappy contracts. Like the CC Sabathias and stuff like that.
But where are the Yankees? The Yankees can give away as many. They can have that TV contract. They can give away as many bad deals as they want because they're still at the top. Right. They're still in the mix. Battling. They're still in the mix.
They're in the mix, dude. Rack says, I think the only teams that should have salary caps are the Yankees and the Cowboys because when they lose, America wins. I agree. That's my mantra, man. When the Cowboys lose especially, America wins. God, I love it. I can't wait. I can't wait for the Cowboys to be 8-9 again this next year.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Just everybody's overpaid, overrated.
Yeah.
Mike McCarthy's their head coach. Jesus.
Who's expecting more, Lions fans or Cowboy fans? Look, guys, like this Lions thing.
No. It's always the Cowboys fans.
Yeah, no, I know, and I say that
But
joking.
I don't hear like we expect, because the rumblings that I'm hearing out of are more national. When they're talking about our offensive line and stuff like this, talking about what we could be. I think we're optimistic, we're excited, but we realize too. Yeah, and here's the thing: we're not running. But we're not walking. We might be skipping right now, right? It's a skip fest. It's a little, right? Isn't it like a little summertime skip fest? I don't have to run and stuff like this. I'm just skipping along with the Lions as they go. Because you know what? What did the draft do? It brought me promise. It brought me hope. It brought me something that I hadn't seen. You know, we're breaking down the expectations. I asked Corey Woods, you mentioned earlier, who is diligently working out at Planet Fitness as you should, because your fitness is essential. Remember that? The things that he'll be able to see around there and stuff like that's the difference. And one of the things that he mentioned, this is the culture stuff I look for, right? So give me something. I said, you know what I noticed? Said Jeff Okudah wasn't doing a lot of individual drills and stuff like that, but was he involved on the sideline and with guys and stuff like that, interacting? Because you get the culture right first, which it seems from what I've heard or sort of what I've seen with Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell coming in, and then you get guys buying in and they want to be around each other. And so I guess skipping right now, and it's okay. What's wrong with skipping around? You know what I'm saying? That it's not that serious. You know, we're not moping like we used to. We're not running.
There's a growing segment of people, though, D-Mac.
Let's
a growing
skip around
segment.
until we realize, because at the end of the day, until we find out what Goff is, right? Is he the guy? Did all these moves be made? So what is that? 3 games? 2-3 games? Like when are we going to know if this is the guy? Until then, we got to be optimistic.
Which I get, and you know I'm here for, because we still got another year to go under our grand plan.
Does the optimism of the Lions not come off of the disappointment of the Tigers? We just, like, the balloon just went right off the beginning. We don't have any helium in that Tiger balloon now
and they
to
are
carry
next
us to the Lions, right?
And they are our next to lock on to, right? They're next up.
Right, exactly. The process is with the Pistons, the process is with the Wings and the draft and free agency and stuff like that. But the Lions are our latch, right? You know, other than the college football season. But as far as the Lions, because they give us hope. They give us everything the Tigers didn't, because the Tigers took that helium birthday balloon that you just love. And they not only, you know what they did, Neal? Right? They hung that string and they let the string keep coming down as it was rising, and you had a piece of it, but they let the string out, and boom, pop, gone.
All right, absolutely. But end on our YouTube chat there. Baseball's already somewhat of a joke unless you're over the age of 80. The fact MLB doesn't have a salary cap makes it complete garbage, too. And baseball, I think, salary-wise, is a little bit different.
Baseball.
And, you know, their players' union does have somewhat of a spine, too. Like, they will stand up to the owners.
Strong.
Yeah, it is. It's not. I would say it's number one as far as player unions go.
Absolutely. Locked tight in their collective bargaining and stuff like this. And a lot of it, why is that? And because of they got on board the quickest, or did it. They've done it. Baseball operates the way baseball's operated for a long time. With a few hiccups here and there.
Yeah. So I guess that's just kind of my question, Spencer, because you're seeing it too, because you and I have talked about it kind of on the side where I think people are getting a little ahead of themselves.
Yes.
We still got a year on the clock, man.
Yeah. Definitely. And it's always like that with Lion fans. You know, we always want to be getting the hopium in, you know, thinking we're going to be better than we are. So it's tough to pump the brakes, especially like what D-Mac's saying, when you get the national coverage, when you get us on Hard Knocks, you get Mina Kimes, you get Dan Orlovsky talking good things about us, and we see it as Lions fans. We see them heading in the right direction, so it's hard not to jump the gun, and it's hard not to to hope that they'll be better than what they actually are.
Can I just bring one thing up? Because I wasn't hearing you guys talking. What a joke. Jared Goff being ranked 30th.
Yeah, we talked
Chris
about
Sims,
that.
Are you freaking kidding me? Right? So that's what I'm saying. So if that's the expectations, because I think he's better than that. But if he can be in that top 20 to 25, we're not even asking him to do anything else, but be better than. And you said it. I heard you say it. Your guys, Tua and Jameis, who are 26 and 29 or 28, 29, right? There's a different complexion to that. But 30th was. I just thought that was a joke too. But he's got to. So go out and prove it. That's how some guys look at him. Some fans look at him, and you don't have to be an ex-football quarterback or Chris Sims, but you nailed that real well. His track record speaks for itself.
No, it certainly does. And what was interesting about all that to me was, and we've been running the polls, and I forgot to do it today, but we'll get back to it, Sam Flannel, where I've been putting up Jared Goff, and you were here for a couple of these. I put Jared Goff up against a current quarterback in the NFL, and I asked the Lions fans, who would you rather have? And so far, he's 5-0, right?
Yeah, and there were a couple that were a little bit surprising, especially the Jameis Winston one. I thought for sure Jameis would win that one, but people seem to believe in Goff, at least to some extent.
I believe in Goff.
And I think that plays into it, what we're talking about how maybe we do just need to pump the brakes. We'll talk about that more, though, certainly, as the season. It's like when Memorial Day comes, I think that every single year it gets pushed back further and further and further. When Memorial Day gets here, I do kind of start to get into the football mode earlier now. I do, because the next thing we know, it's 4th of July. And then when 4th of July is here, you're like 2 weeks away from camp, and now it's real.
Well, think about it, because in years past, hockey's almost over. There's a week left in the season. We're right in the middle of the finals right now, so you're just getting ready to move on to the next thing, and especially when your baseball team's not doing anything, all you got is football, whether it's college or pro.
Yeah, that's right. But, hey, football season, summer season, it doesn't matter. I'm glad Chris Sims never came up with a vodka ranking, because I think, though, even he would have Gypsy Vodka at number one. Even Chris Sims would get that one right, because it's a very, very simple pull to have. The official drink of summer is also here, not coincidentally, made by Gypsy. It's called the Mulligan. That's right. You guys know it. You're out on that golf course. Whether you're hanging out in the backyard, the Mulligan certainly is the play. Ask for the Mulligan at your local golf course or at a Total Wine store near you. It's the official drink of summer, everybody. Brought to you by the good folks at Gypsy Vodka. As always, drink responsibly.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Strawberry Fest is back at Big Boy. We brought back some of the classic breakfast items like the strawberry French toast, hot cakes, and waffle. If you're not feeling breakfast, try our new strawberry bacon chicken wrap. Crispy chicken wrap, nacho wrap, or strawberry salad. The perfect recipe for springtime. And don't forget to grab dessert, including our berry delicious strawberry pie for only $1.99 with the purchase of $7.99 or more at participating Big Boy locations.
What's going on, everybody? It's Spencer for the Fulling Warehouse in Hamtramck. You know it. You've heard about it. It's the home of the original football bowling pin game called Fulling. Multiple things you can do. Host your corporate party, team building event, or just have a good time with your family and friends. 2 different ways you can play. They got $12 open unlimited play. You could stay there day till night, open till close, have a great time. Or private lane reservation, $120, 10 to 12 people. You get your own lane. You can do whatever you want. You can bring in any type of food you want. Bring it in there. You get thirsty, they got a $2 mystery beer vending machine. Put in $2, pops out a good beer. No hassle, no fuss needed. Know what you want to make a decision. They've got multiple fully loaded bars for you to choose from. So come on down to Hamtramck and check them out in person, or visit them online at fullingwarehouse.com. Again, that is fullingwarehouse.com.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, final segment of the show. We got the squad here. Rack says Chris Sims drinks Mohawk vodka. Well said. That's the chat thread message of the day. There is no doubt about it. You know what we do here. It's Ask DMAC for the final 10 minutes or so of the show. And NFL Draft Junkie knew he fired in right away. DMAC, did you ever have a damn I don't want to fight this guy moment?
Yeah. All the time.
Every fight?
It's not the fact that you don't want to do it. You just have to do it. Yeah, the one I saw Junkie posted, when Joey and I fought and he took a piece of my helmet off, we got in a headlock and we hit our heads on the ice and he looked at me and said, "You all right, kid?" And I said, "Thanks for not killing me, Mr. Kosher." But like Christoph Oliwa or George Larac or all these big guys, you didn't want to do it, but like I said, my fear of having anybody else do it instead, it's like, they're going to beat somebody up. I'd rather it be me than any of the other guys. And I know at the end of the day, it's like one of these things, you don't have to be the biggest dog. But if you bite, people don't like to get bit by dogs, even other dogs, right? So there's always a dog in the fight, and those guys knew that. So you pick your spots, but all those different situations, I know that why I fought Oliwa, because he ran Murph in Jersey the one day, and I fought George Larac because he took exception to Iginla. So wasn't because, and then Joey just because I was stupid and a rookie. There you go.
Fair enough. Just because I was stupid and I was a rookie.
That's it.
Jack Harrington, D-Mac, when can we say the Tigers are officially dead?
They're dead to me, Jack. They've been dead to me since before the break. No, I mean, the one thing is like Torque went up 18 hits. I mean, I don't know what you're expecting. Now it's sort of wait to see. They're going to have to do a lot of things to get my attention. Not saying I won't go down to the park, not saying it won't be a part of it.
Those are two different things.
To me, it's a joke. They're a joke. They're a joke. So it's already done. Put it this way. I didn't even create him a clock.
If you're talking
and I create clocks, bro. That's my thing.
If you're talking
put my clock into your mouth. Yes.
There we go. Everybody's on it. If you're talking about playoffs, it is dead. For me now, it's all Torque and Riley Green because they're the only two that are capable of saving this thing. For real. They are. And what happens? Do we get Casey Mize back? Those types of things. It's a developmental year now. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And those guys are at the center stage. That's to me. I know you didn't ask me, but I figured I would. They do pay me, so I figured I would jump in too. The away fan, D-Mac, when they handed out the Conn Smythe, was there a year where you thought they got it wrong? I thought Ozzie should have won it in 08. I'm with you, the away fan. I thought that too, but that's just me.
Yeah, no, I think with the playoff run and him coming in and stuff, but you can't, with what Zetterberg did, especially in Game 6, killing the 5-on-3 and scoring the winning goal and stuff like that, you can't take it away. And Ozzie be the first one to tell you that, give it to Z. Can I comment on the WWE? What do I think? Randy Orton's out, so RK Bro's down, but Shinsuke Nakamura and Riddle are now a tag. For all my wrestling guys out there, I think there's something there because I think they can have some good chemistry, but also Riddle can do some fun.
Whatever they need to do to get Riddle out on his own. Whatever they need to do.
Yeah,
the time has come. The time has come. Yes, D-Mac, the time has come.
No, because you got to run the Viper court. That now it might be the time to move it on. But why are you always in a hurry, bro? Why are you always in a hurry? So you got to push him out there when it's not. Riddle's the one that after all the schmozzle with The Rock or whatever's going on with 2 years from now or LA or whatever, Riddle's your long-term long play champ, just like in AEW, Wardlow's your long play champ.
I don't know. If I'm WWE, I'm squeezing it out of the rookie deal right now on him. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's because you're WWE. That's what you probably do. I didn't say what would be done right. Again, that's Vince's opera. Vince will do it the way Vince
I got
wants.
him on the rookie deal right now. I'm
you
juicing
and
that
Vince
lemon.
are like the same, so you're just going to squeeze. And you squeeze these rookies just till they pop. Good. So squeeze him now, give him the championship, and then he can move over to AEW later.
Jack Harrington, Tampa versus Rangers. Who you got?
I got Tampa. I think the rest really, really helped him. I think you'll see point in the rest of this series.
Rangers are on one of those runs right now.
No. I get it. 2 Game 7, stuff like this. If put it this way, the Rangers are the team to end this run at this point right now. If there is a team to end this run for Tampa Bay.
There you go. Mike G, who hits the center pin first in Foaling, Jared Goff or Dak Prescott?
Jared Goff.
Tua.
Oh, yeah. You know my guy,
I
Tua.
might, Tua. I might even say Neal's
And Jameis
guy.
overthrows it by
Drew
2 lanes.
Brees.
Your
Drew
Malik
Brees.
Willis, by the way.
Drew Brees.
Your Malik Willis
Yeah.
is my Tua this year.
That's fair.
I want it so
you're
bad.
right.
So bad I want it.
That's fair.
Appreciate y'all tapping in to Big D Energy. For D-Mac, for Sam Flannel, for Spencer Raxter. Hey, we'll be back at it tomorrow.
Deuces.
Thanks for tapping in. Well, see you later.